that I have to make to help me continue to provide for my family. So that's why even throughout my career, I could do a lot of stuff. I grew up in the church. I could get behind the drums. I could sing. I dance. But it's like when you're trying to focus on your career, you have to have that discernment to say, this is my purpose. This is my mission. This is my gift that God wants me to express right now. So I say all of that to say it all goes back to having faith in God and operating out of the Spirit to say these are the decisions that I need to make.
But now, hey, check this out. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get it wrong. You're going to fall, and sometimes you're going to want to lay there. You're going to get it all wrong. You're going to jack your life up. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you are under 40 years old, you have 2 more major F-ups that you can afford to make in your life.
And it's gonna happen.
And you're gonna make all of it. Now, if you're in your 20s, you can get ready for a lifetime, a series of F-ups that's coming your way. Because you just gotta go through it. It is a part of the process. The failure is a wonderful teacher. Because it is the way that you know that you're getting there. Stop letting these failures stop you. Stop letting these failures define you. This is it. This is the moment. It's not it. You have to fail to get it. I've gotten it wrong so many times. I've missed more than I've hit. I wrote more jokes that didn't work than I have that worked. But the ones that worked, they got me there. Yeah. All you need is a few hits. A baseball player. Look, man, this cat go up to the plate 10 times. He don't get but 3 hits. He can make $40 million a year with them 3 hits. What you tripping for when you strike out one time? So damn what, you supposed to. But you gotta understand that's the process. But we out here with this social media, we so tricked and thinking everybody got it. I don't know where she got the bag from, but she on Instagram. I ain't talking about nobody over there. I'm just
everybody look like who bag we talking about?
Everybody was looking. I saw the whole crowd. Who bag?
What in the?
See, I'm such a good storyteller. I can make you think.
Who bag is over there?
You know, they on Instagram flexing, and you think that's their life. That ain't really their life. These people renting out these. They got airplanes that's cut in half now. That you can go rent and sit on the airplane and look like
pictures.
It's like you're on a jet. You know how much a jet costs? Do you know if you take a G4 from here to LA and back, you know what that costs?
100,000.
Easy. And the newer the model, you might can get it for 72,000, 75. Who got that kind of money? You can't do no shit like that. I'm sorry. And you no, man, I be getting mad because I be looking at these poor ass people on Instagram. Be like, great, the fuck you on the jet? How much that shit costs, man? Who that? I want to ask who this dude is, man.
Don't call no names.
Okay, I don't know his name. You seen the dude that be online? He got the big giant airplane on his neck.
Yeah.
It's a giant airplane on his neck with all the diamonds on it.
I don't know who he's talking about.
I don't know what your algorithm is.
Hey, Nick, he come on mine all the time.
Let me bring it back. Back to financial advice.
I'm sorry. I still don't know who this is.
So as I was walking around earlier at the Villa Marketplace, an entrepreneur came up to me. He said, I own a barbershop. He also said he's a photographer. And then he said he has a car service company. And I was thinking about all of these different businesses, right? Yeah, I know, kind of all over the place, right? And there's this ideology that having multiple revenue streams and multiple businesses is how you get rich. And then other people say you should focus on one thing and be really good at that. Now, as 2 of the biggest multi-hyphenates in the world, who have multiple different businesses, multiple different revenue streams, multiple different outlets, multiple different brand deals. What's your advice to some of the entrepreneurs here that have multiple interests, but don't know if they should stay focused on one thing or if they should pursue all of their passions simultaneously?
That's a beautiful conundrum, because I was that guy. That's what I was selling since a teenager. I could do everything. I could do it all. you know, and you want to be, I got a barbershop, I got, you know, like that's, yeah, we do hair, sell dope out the same spot, whatever it is. It's like, we think the more that we can do, the better off we're gonna be. But I learned that lesson the hard way. God has blessed me with so many different gifts, man. But it was a blessing and a curse a lot of times because I was this multi-hyphenate that didn't hone in on my craft when I should have honed in on my craft. And as I look back, I have no regrets in my life whatsoever. But there's a lot of times where it's like, man, if I would have focused in when I was focused in on my film career, if I would have focused in when I would have focused on my music career, I would have focused in when I was focused on my stand-up career. It's a blessing that I was able to do all of those things. But now as I sit back in my 40s, I'm like, taking my time. A true craftsman, a true artist will sit there for hours and just polish. And I think that's the space that I'm in now. And again, I'm older, I'm a little slower than I was, but I was all about my energy and saying I could do this, I could do that. And I came off as, you know, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. So my advice, perfect your craft. You know, a lot of people believe we're all here networking, and we know there's only one letter between networking and not working. So we grind it. But a lot of us, if we're truly craftsmen, we need to be at home polishing before we get out there and network. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way on so many different occasions, that if God gives you an opportunity, and we always know that, you know, what the definition of luck is opportunity means preparation. But if you don't prepare, if you don't hone in, that's why when we see the ones who are great at that one thing. You know what I mean? So, and they could do multiple things, and that's the thing, because I met all of those people, and I love when people come up to me and they say, man, I can do everything like you can do everything. But my advice to them is always focus on that one thing, get that one thing right, and once you kick that door open, you'll be able to do everything that you want to do.
That's 100. Okay, now, everything this brother told you is 1,000%. Now let me give you the how-to part of it. See, this is the part I had to learn. God, when he created you, he endowed you with a gift. Everybody in this room is gifted by God at something. God never created a soul that he didn't bestow a gift upon. And it ain't nowhere, you ain't gotta go looking for it, it's in you. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That is your God-given gift. That is the thing that Nick is talking about honing in on. You may be able to wash cars and cut hair and make a diamond ring, yeah, all that. But while you cutting hair, you can't wash your car. And while you washing the car, you can't make a diamond ring. So now you spread out too far. It is the gift that you have to hone and focus on. You can branch out later on. You cannot branch out at first. You ain't got that much fertilizer. You ain't got that much water. And you ain't got that many roots. You don't need to be all over the place. Your gift is the thing that God has given you. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. You know what that means? It means it'll make a way. It'll make a way for you, but you gotta focus on that gift. And then when you get that gift, it turns into branches. Look, my gift was I could take words and make it funny. Now, when I was in school, as a young boy, I didn't know that was my gift. I stayed in trouble, because I just fired shit off. I just said shit I wasn't even supposed to say. And people be laughing all around me, and I was serious.
We actually have your high school teacher backstage and has I'm joking.
Please don't bring it up. My mother used to take me to prayer service every Friday night to get the pastor to lay hands on me, because there was something wrong with me. This boy just say whatever come to his mind. And he'll hit me, you know. I wasn't nothing wrong, so I didn't fall out and nothing, so. But that gift, now, what happened was, it turned into a stand-up career almost by accident. But after stand-up, I learned that I could make money talking into a microphone. So now guess what? After Kings and comedy career was specials and all like this, I learned that that microphone could hang from a ceiling on a boom mic, and I could do a TV show. And then after the TV show, I learned that you could set this microphone on a desk, and I could do a radio show. And then I learned you could take this microphone and put it in a mic stand on the middle of a stage with a bar stool next to it, a spotlight and a glass of water, and I can make another kind of money. But guess what? All of it comes from that one gift that God gave me at birth. And when you hold on that gift will make room for you.
Wisdom.
Let's talk back about money. Nick, how do you have your portfolio set up? Do you have real estate in one bucket, investments in another bucket? Do you keep tangible cash in one place? How do you accumulate it all, and how do you have it all set up? Just as a formula, just as a formula. Not specific, but just as a formula.
No, honestly, that is a great question, because I believe when you make money, and I learned this later in life too, you have to not only first invest in yourself, but then have enough to where you do have a portfolio and you get with people who can give you that tutelage and that understanding. One of the first people that did give me advice once I started getting money was, this brother that's sitting next to me. And one of the first things that we do when we get money as entertainers, we get business managers. And they come and then business managers, lawyers, and they all take a percentage. So in that aspect, as a young man, I'm allowing those people to make the financial decisions for me. And the best advice that I could give anybody is the same advice that this brother gave to me, and it was a lesson that he learned, is like, don't ever let someone else control all your money. You have to get into a space where you know where every dollar is spent, that you sign every check that goes out. And from that, because I have that entrepreneurial spirit, I do have it set up in a way to where, whether it's quarterly or however the process goes, is that whatever I invest in, that I personally check into it. So as you know, I've had my company, Incredible Entertainment, that's also diversified into everything from consumer electronics to apparel and all of those different things. But I make sure that every investment that I make, I don't make them loudly. From social media, you see people, I invested in this, I own this. That's all great for educational purposes. But in that same space, you gotta make sure you move your money around in a space that you're not trying to do it in a boastful manner. So to answer your question as clearly as possible, it's definitely, I put multiple places, have multiple accounts and multiple divisions of what I do, but I make sure that I'm the one at the forefront of all of them. So I've invested in, you've seen it, we got Wild 'N Out restaurants, we got other restaurants.
So many different verticals, that's why
I'm in business on corporate levels with so many different people with products and everywhere from Walmart.
Are there different managers and lawyers for different?
And you gotta learn how to not only...
so like Mass Singer will have a different person that deals with that.
So you gotta diversify, but you also have to know how to delegate. And then that's where I think that the idea is, because you can't watch everything all at once. So you have to have a circle of people that, these are the people that manage the entertainment side. These are the people that run the record label. These are the people that run the touring industry. And then like all of that stuff, I kind of quarterly, or however often I need to, make sure that they download me on what's making money and what's not. And as we all know, we're in a time right now where downsizing has been a big idea. So going back to that, like, I could do it all. You come to Incredible, we can do it all. If you watch The Real Husbands of Hollywood, we had real estate companies, Incredible, we had barbershop, all of that, and it was all jokes. But now at this time where we're trying to hold on to what we have, you might need to downsize, and then by downsizing, you gotta be that person that pays close attention to every dollar that goes out.
Absolutely. Now, Steve, you live part-time here in Atlanta for years and years and years, but you also live internationally in the UAE. How important is international business to your current brand, and how important should everybody be looking at growing worldwide instead of just looking domestically?
Well, let me, I like to tell people some particulars, right? One of the smartest investments I ever did, and I'm not telling you to do this, but look into it. Insurance is one of the smartest investments I've ever done. You know when the stock market crashed and all that, the big fallout years ago, insurance companies didn't go nowhere. They don't lose money in insurance. I've sent kids to college because of insurance policies. You can borrow money from the cash value in your insurance policy and never pay it back. They just take it back out of the death benefit. Well, hell, your ass is gone, so what the hell do I care? You know, if I borrow $18,000 off a policy and the policy was for $100,000 and I die and somebody don't give me, you know,
82.
then hell, make it. But if I were you, I would look, now I don't know what they're called anymore, whether they're universal policies, I don't know what they call them anymore. I sold insurance years ago. But I have had insurance policies that have had so much cash value in it. When I needed something, I could go to that cash value. And if you put it in the right ones, it goes according to the stock market. And right now, because of what's happening on the stock market, it's a crazy good investment. And it's something that benefits you. I don't know if you noticed, but every time you fill out a loan application, they ask you, do you have insurance? Well, they ain't asking you that. They want to know, have you thought about your future? And they can attach themselves to that money in case you die. They're gonna get their money back. So insurance is a smart investment, man. I'm not telling you to do it, but look it up and think about it.
That's wisdom. That's wisdom.
Because you're gonna need it eventually, and if you don't need it, take a cash policy out and don't pay it back. I ain't never paid none of it back. I got a son sitting over there now. I'm sitting. Man, I be just cussing. I be forgetting when I ain't on TV. I got a son, I'm sitting in the car, sending all my kids to college like that. I ain't never went in my pocket. I go to the insurance policy and pull down. And that's how I do it. Well, Mr. Harvey, you already $300,000 out of your death benefit. I'm gonna be dead. I don't give a damn if Marjorie can't make it on the shit I done gave her. You can sell some of them damn bags I done bought. They always talk about that Hermes shit and sell them damn bags and be living the best life. My bad.
Nick, Nick, how important is legacy to you? Obviously, family is very, very important to you.
Yeah.
How important is it to you to leave something behind and give financial advice to your kids? And how important is legacy to you at this stage in your life?
I mean, sitting here, honestly, this brother is preaching, and I'm taking it in because one thing I never ever really wanted to deal with, but currently have to deal with it even more so, is estate planning. And estate planning and legacy go hand in hand. When you do have something, you want to leave it. And it's not always even financial, just even the experience of what we are. Everybody know I got a lot of kids that leave stuff too. But that's, I mean, as Steve's sitting here talking, I'm like, if I get an insurance policy on all 12 policies, I'm gonna be a billionaire several times over. I'll get my Rockefeller on. But we joke about it, but those are the people that kind of understood that in the financial sense, is like the John D. Rockefellers and stuff, because having trust, understanding what trusts are, understanding what estates are, like, I honestly want to make sure that whenever I leave, it is important to make sure that every single one of my family members are taken care of. That's what I started out to do, and that's what I'm gonna finish doing, and making sure that I put my family first. However big my family is, they all gonna be alright.
That's all right, Nick. That's all right. Let him use you. So, hey, when I was
Steve, before we came out, he was like, man, I don't know what Nick's gonna say. Steve, you know, I was gonna